movability does not offer itself for exploitation, and in turn it does not exploit. Our movability gets by with a minimum of possessions, albeit carefully selected ones. It cultivates a life of wandering and attempts to orient itself in the world without prescribed disciplines. It is in the best sense undisciplined. It cannot be disciplined. This is a plea for theory and practice, situated in the in-between of disciplines, between staked out territories, between the dispositives of power, which Michel Foucault identified above all as sexuality, truth, and knowledge. To this we can add the network. By the way, the title of this manifesto is Against Psychopathia Medialis, for a normal schizophrenia. Second, globalization is a concept that is profoundly bound up with economic, cultural, and political power. The word originates from a vocabulary that has nothing to do with art. Our justifiable concern is to communicate our work on a worldwide basis and to carry this through without falling into the trap of such predeterminations, globalization. Therefore, we need other concepts and other orientations. Poets and philosophers, like Édouard Glissant from Martinique, for example, may be able to provide them. Glissant operates with the concept of mondialité. Jacques Derrida also regarded this concept very highly. With mondialité, both thinkers describe a quality of worldwide relationships which are not defined in terms of their rational purposiveness, but as the poetry of relations. We had this term relations already yesterday. Poetry of relations as an alternative. Art and theory that are created with the aid of advanced ideas and media could, in this sense, become mondial theory and practice. Third, in case of doubt and with the option of choosing alternatives, a risky decision in favor of the possible is more appropriate than a pragmatic decision in favor of reality. Modern science, technology, and art have expended their energies for over 400 years on making the invisible visible and the imperceptible perceptible. We saw also quite a few examples yesterday. Through translating nature into binary data and rendering social relations, including their fine structures, systematic, this process is now far advanced. The more that the technological world is programmed to make the impossible possible, that means to make it function, it is worthwhile to undertake the attempt to confront the possible with its own impossibilities. This would be an alternative program to establishing cybernetics as a cultural and social technology. In the most advanced, fourth, in the most advanced societies, we live in permanent testing situations. This is an extremely important point for my own work at the Academy. We live in a permanent testing situation. Our environment is set up as a test department, also the educational environments. A test department which was also the name of a great rock band, some of you might know them, in the 1980s from Glasgow in Scotland. Rock music I played when all of you were still sleeping or in the taxis or in the subway. I played a little bit Anthony and the Johnsons and his wonderful poets for searching his inner identity, which is impossible for this guy. A beautiful song, and these rock musicians are very, very anticipatory in feeling this kind of subjectivity, sometimes decades before they are relevant for masses of people. Ideas and concepts that have barely seen the light of day are subjected to trials to test their viability on the market. By contrast, in elaborate artistic processes, the experiment takes precedence over the test. The experiment is more important than the test. as a matter of principle, experiments are free and failure is always possible.